Good morning, it's 5 a.m. This is my normal waking up time. I'm going to talk softly so I don't wake up anyone else in the house. Today I'm going to share with you how I make my own coffee in the morning, and then I'm going to share with you how to get the maximum benefits from coffee with the minimum of the side effects that some people get. First, the water. Singapore water is pretty safe, but for myself, I stay in an older house, so I don't know how good the pipes are. I use a water filter. Okay, for water, there are different stages of water filtration. I try to get a stage 4 or higher water filter. It does cost a bit more, but it does take out heavy metals. If you stay in a nice new house, maybe the heavy metals are not a huge problem, and Singapore water actually is very clean. But you do want to take out fluorine and chlorine from your water because even though it may not be, full of germs, fluorine and chlorine can disrupt your body's absorption of iodine because they're in the same chemical group, in the periodic table. So that can disrupt your thyroid, which is going to lower your metabolism. So we don't want that. I've tried all kinds of coffee making devices. I tried those like capsule, like Nespresso. I've tried those drip machines. But in the end, I always end up going back to instant coffee just because it saves time. To me, it's the fastest way to get coffee. I'm not a big coffee connoisseur, so whatever is fast and gets me the right amount of coffee is the one I'll use. So I use instant coffee. Unless you're on a very restrictive diet, you also want to go with sugar with your coffee. So I put about 2 tablespoons. Right, even 3 is okay. If you're not on some super getting to the last 5% super lean body fat where you really need to watch every single calorie, sugar is a good choice to go with your coffee. Then I also put a bit of gelatin because most of us during the day, we eat meat or protein, and it's usually a muscle meat. And muscle meats don't usually have glycine, which is the amino acid that's mostly in gelatin. So I put some gelatin inside because, gelatin dissolves better mostly in hot drinks. So I don't usually drink hot drinks, right? So in the coffee, it's a good time to put some gelatin to balance out the amino acids for the day. This video is brought to you by my team and I at Genesis Gym Singapore, where you can get some of the finest personal training available either in one of our gyms or online. Check out the links below to find out more. Like I mentioned, gelatin has glycine, and glycine is an amino acid that's very important for detoxification as well as relaxation. Actually, glycine helps your nervous system to relax. So it's actually something I recommend for people who are highly stressed. And in fact, if my clients train late at night, it's tough to sleep after a tough training session, you can consider using glycine as part of your pre-sleep routine. Like 2 grams of glycine usually helps you calm down and sleep better. Normally I go with iced coffee. I just like the cold stuff. But if you want something more stimulating, you take it hot, right? Normally it's not a good idea to put hot things into plastic containers because the plastic can leach when the temperature is too high, and it becomes a external estrogen that disrupts your body's chemistry. So you don't really want that. But the ice is there. It's cold already, so this is not really a problem. Finally, I like milk with the coffee. I take skim milk, not because milk that is whole milk is bad for you. It's just that the calories from the whole milk fat, I prefer to use those calories in other things throughout the day because it makes me fuller, so I'm less likely to eat bad stuff. Okay, coffee is ready. So let's talk about coffee. Coffee is a well-known booster of metabolism. That's true. It's also got lots of antioxidants, it's also got some minerals like magnesium, and it's been shown to be protective for your brain against certain brain diseases, and also protective against certain cancers, especially skin and colon cancers. I think that most supplement research is pretty shaky and not many supplements are truly proven, but caffeine is one of the few things that the research is overwhelming that it does improve exercise and sports performance as well. Here are a few other things you should know about coffee to help you get the best benefits from coffee. As you saw in my video, I add sugar to my coffee. I'm not a big fan of the totally black coffee. The reason is that coffee is a metabolism booster. Boosting your metabolism is like trying to tell your car to go faster. There's nothing wrong with that as long as you give it enough fuel. Telling a car to go fast without giving it fuel to match the new speed is not a good idea. So if you're drinking just black coffee early in the morning, you might find that it makes yourself a bit more jittery because you're asking your body to go fast without supplying it with the right amount of nutrients. High metabolism with low nutrients can be a stress because your body says, hey, where's all these nutrients going to come from? Most likely it comes from your lean tissue. I'm also not a fan of the bulletproof coffee where you add a lot of fats to your coffee. Right, the reason for this is that often overshoots people's daily caloric needs. So yes, I recommend carbohydrates, I do add sugar, but a tablespoon of sugar is only 40 calories. Okay, so a few tablespoons is 100 calories. But you put fat, just a tablespoon of fat will give you 150 calories. And many of these so-called high-fat, bulletproof type coffee guys, they're putting in a few tablespoons worth of fat. And that's 500 to 700 calories just like that. That would make it very easy for people to overshoot their daily caloric needs. You're going to have to eat really little remaining food to stay under your caloric needs and not gain weight. Bear in mind that fat, biochemically, its most efficient way of being used in the body, all things being equal, is to be stored as fat. Sugar stimulates metabolism, so it's harder to store as fat, and protein takes a lot of energy to break down, so it's harder to store as fat. Fat is easily stored with no chemical transformation in your body as fat cells, so we don't want that. So coffee with sugar, not high fat. The next thing to consider is how stimulating you want the coffee to be. If you're the kind of person who takes coffee in the morning and can't sleep at night, you probably don't want to drink hot coffee later in the day. Comment below, do you have trouble sleeping after drinking coffee? The temperature of the coffee does change how stimulating it is. At night, maybe you take an iced coffee. In the morning, maybe you take it hot. Everything depends on how well you individually process caffeine. Processing of caffeine may vary according to genetics because caffeine is processed in phase 1 of liver detoxification, and all kinds of liver detox pathways have genetic influence. So if you're the kind of person who easily gets jittery or stimulated and can't sleep because of coffee, maybe your phase 1 detox is not so good. Maybe you're not as healthy. Maybe you're genetically not suited for detoxing caffeine really fast. If that's the case, then you want to take colder coffee, not as stimulating, and you want to take it earlier in the day. I find this slow detox problem actually something people can improve. Don't go on a super low carb diet because low carbs means low liver glycogen. Glycogen is the sugar stored in the liver, and low liver glycogen means low liver energy. A low energy liver has less energy for detox, so you're going to find that the coffee is not cleared as fast. Adding on to this point, if you don't handle caffeine that well, don't drink it on an empty stomach. Remember, empty stomach, low liver glycogen, slower detox of the caffeine. It will stay in your system longer and you might have more problems. I believe that as you get healthier, you'll be able to tolerate caffeine better because your liver is healthier and you're able to detox everything. This indication of good detox is healthy because if you can clear caffeine, you can clear other toxins that your body detoxes in the liver. It's a sign that your liver is actually better at clearing toxins. Next thing about coffee, it's a great drink to have with meals that have high iron. The most common high iron meal that we usually take is something with a lot of red meat. So if you have a steak, it's probably good to have a coffee with that. The reason is that caffeine slows down and reduces the amount of iron we intake. I know iron has a pretty good reputation among the health conscious, and you do need iron to have good healthy red blood cells. But unless you have a medical low iron situation where you have anemia, it's probably better to reduce your iron intake so that it doesn't oxidize in your body. Excessive iron is easily oxidized, especially in someone who's not very healthy or under a high stress load. So that excessive oxidation will increase inflammation and increase blood sugar levels, because under an inflammation state, your body will increase stress hormones, which are anti-inflammatory. Another thing you can do is that if you're very jittery or find yourself unable to sleep, is that don't take coffee alone. Have it with a meal, and it buffers the release of the caffeine so it becomes slower and your body has time to deal with it. So this means if you want to sleep well after drinking coffee, you want to have it with a meal. That's why if I drink coffee at night, I actually put more sugar into it than I do if I drink it early in the morning. Finally, you can take note of the latest time you can have coffee before it starts affecting your sleep. So that's something very personal, and I find that as a person improves their health, improves their liver glycogen storage ability, and improves their metabolism and improves their overall stress levels, they can tolerate caffeine better. So you can use your tolerance of caffeine as an indicator of health. The less jittery you get, the more well you can sleep. Even if you drink caffeine, that's a sign you're getting healthier. So as a simple start, if caffeine bothers you, take it with food or with sugar. Don't take it on an empty stomach. Don't take it too late at night, and take it cold. This is a good start. All this, of course, within the requirements of your daily diet. So you can't just put 10 tablespoons of sugar and overshoot your calories. Remember, everything in the body is a bell-shaped curve. There's too little, and there's too much, and there's just right. The difficulty is, just right is different for every person. So I hope that you can find out quickly what your suitable level of caffeine intake is right now, so you can get all the many benefits of drinking coffee and caffeine without any of the side effects. For more videos on how you can improve your health in a complete and smart way, subscribe to my channel.